Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show right here over the digital airways of YouTube. As we are taping this show, we are monitoring Sean P. Diddy Combs in court. He has pled not guilty, and the prosecutor is arguing that he should be held in jail. He should not be released on bail because he's reached out to witnesses and victims, and some witnesses say they are scared of him. This is according to the prosecutor. They're saying that he's reached out to some victims. The U.S. Assistant U.S. Attorney Emily Johnson is the one making this argument to the judge. She says that he's reached out to some victims. After Dawn Richard, a former member of a music group Combs started, filed her lawsuit on September 10th, Combs reached out to another member of the band who publicly denied the allegations 3 days later. Johnson said Combs called and texted other women 58 times in 4 days. Stuff like that. Just reading off the report from CNN.com. And Kevin Frazier, you heard him allude to it just a few minutes ago, that what else is going to come out of all of this? Because you know names are going to be dropped and what have you. I'm not attaching any names to this. All I'm doing is reading the news, ladies and gentlemen, at this particular point and giving you my thoughts based off of the news. This is the kind of stuff that I was alluding to when I said we need Hollywood's in trouble. Hip hop, R&B, the music industry. I'm not talking about actors and actresses. I'm talking about Hollywood in terms of the music industry. It's in a world of trouble right now because you don't know whose name is attached to P. Diddy, and you don't know where the dominoes are going to fall. You see, when R. Kelly, with his pedophile ass self, was being pursued by law enforcement, by prosecutors and what have you, it was just him. It was just him. There might have been some people who knew or thought or heard or whatever the case may be, but they wanted him. Okay? They wanted him. When you look at P. Diddy, it almost seems clear. It's not just him thereafter. These are RICO charges. It's an indictment. It's Homeland Security. Homes raided in Los Angeles and Miami. Computers and laptops and iPads and phones and surveillance videos and stuff like that confiscated. They did that in May. You're talking about months later, and here they come with this indictment, and they're trying to make it so today, as we're taping this show, if prosecutors have their druthers, they're trying to make today his last day of freedom in his life. That's what they're trying to do. They want him behind bars today. Not next week, not next month, not when the trial begins and he's found guilty by a jury of his peers in their eyes. No. They want him in jail now. This is the level of urgency that they're attaching to this. And then lo and behold, on this day, when P. Diddy is walking into a courtroom in New York to plead not guilty on sex trafficking and racketeering charges, hip-hop music industry vet Kevin Liles is resigning from his Warner Music Group executive VP gig. I am reading from a story right here online on TMZ. On Tuesday, Liles sent a company memo announcing his resignation as chairman and CEO of Warner Brothers 300 Elektra Entertainment chairman, passing the torch to some seasoned vets. The next paragraph, ladies and gentlemen, here's what it says. Liles has been with Warner since 2004, which formerly housed Diddy's Bad Boy Records. And he's been vocal defending the mounds of allegations against Puffy. That's what it said. So it's not me talking. Every time I've met Kevin Liles, has been incredibly nice to me. I don't know anything about any of this stuff. What I do know is that they're attaching his name to P. Diddy. And they're doing so on the day that he resigned. And they're showing you the connection between him and Bad Boy Entertainment. You know why they're doing that? Because it's a glimpse of what's coming. There's a whole bunch of names. Y'all guess it. I ain't going to put out no polls. I'm not going to put a poll out there and ask you and give you names and multiple choice. I'm not doing that to other human beings. Only reason I read Kevin Liles' name is because of the TMZ report that's plastered all over the news right now. It's the only reason I read the name. I'm not mentioning anybody's name. But what they're saying is that's the first domino. That's what they're saying. That's the implication. That's what's going on. Think about the parties at his home. Think about the artist, Puffy, P. Diddy, Sean P. Diddy Combs, Sean Diddy Combs. Think about the artist he's represented, who's worked under his label. Go ahead and do your own homework. Think about the people an inordinate amount of people he's been seen with at these parties and beyond. And as Kevin Frazier highlighted, think about Jeffrey Epstein. Think about Suge Knight. Think about what happened with Jeffrey Epstein. Think about how Suge Knight deferred to the Jeffrey Epstein situation when describing the potentiality of what could eventually happen to Sean Diddy Combs. This is bad. This is very, very bad. All we could do is keep our eyes open, watch the case unfold, and remember, as prosecutors are pursuing this case against him, pushed forward by Homeland Security of all folks, we're going to hear more and more and more details. I just finished watching a couple of news channels, a couple, not just one. You know what they said? They brought up the video of him throwing Cassie Ventura to the ground, his ex, and kicking her and throwing a vase at her. And they said, that's just one tape. You know they have more. That's what the news networks are saying. They also brought up reporters who cover or have covered the music industry and how they're saying he's been accused of being violent, not just with the ladies, but having people beat up. And then they said, allegedly having people killed. This is what they said on the news networks. Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, all of that. That's what they said. What people were saying. Kevin Frazier alluded to it. They're saying it. And prosecutors are pursuing a case against them because of it. This is where it begins. This is not where it ends. We all need to keep our eyes open with regard to the fallout from all of this. Not just who falls, but for what reason, and how was the preponderance of evidence gathered against them? Was it because of videos confiscated by Homeland Security at his homes that they raided in Los Angeles or Miami? Or will it get to the point where Diddy says stuff himself to protect himself, his life, and Lord knows of whom else's? Lord, it's bad, y'all. It's bad.